Hello viewers, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to discuss a topic that many of you have been asking about. What are the details of the UK Home Office fact sheet on the new immigration measures in 2024 that was released only a few days ago? We have got this covered and more. We will be looking at the details of the new measures, impacts and implication. So make sure you watch till the end, and follow along so that you do not miss all these delicate details. For those new to the family, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let's get into it. Part 1. Introduction to the new immigration measures. On December 4, 2023, the Prime Minister and Home Secretary announced a plan to curb immigration abuse and cut net migration. This plan is expected to impact around 300,000 people who would have been eligible to come to the UK under last year's rules. The new measures include 1. Restrictions on overseas care workers. Overseas care workers will no longer be able to bring dependents. Social care firms in England wishing to sponsor care worker visas must be providing services regulated by the Care Quality Commission, CQC. 2. Increased earnings threshold for skilled worker visas. The minimum earnings threshold for skilled worker visas will increase from £26,200 to £38,700. The individual occupation going rate thresholds will also be raised in line with the median full-time wage for equivalent jobs in 2023. 3. Exemptions for health and social care visa route. Those coming on the health and social care visa route will be exempt from the £38,700 threshold. 4. Increased minimum income requirement for family visas. The minimum income requirement for family visas will be raised to align with the new minimum general salary threshold for skilled workers, £38,700. This is to ensure people only bring dependents to the UK they can support financially. These changes are part of a broader effort to reduce net migration and encourage businesses to prioritize British talent. Part 2. Details of the new measures. Let's delve deeper into the details of these new measures. 1. Overseas care workers. The new rules will prevent overseas care workers from bringing dependents. This change is expected to be introduced as soon as possible in the new year. Care workers and senior care workers already in the UK will be able to remain with their current employers, including extending their stay, changing employer, within these SOAP codes, and settle in the UK. 2. Skilled worker visas. The minimum earnings threshold for skilled worker visas will increase significantly. However, those on the health and care visa route will be exempt from this increase. The Shortage Occupation List, SOL, will be renamed the Immigration Salary List, and the current SOL will remain in place until the new salary thresholds are put in place in late spring 2024. 3. Family visas. The minimum income requirement for family visas will be raised incrementally, starting with a jump to £29,000 in spring 2024, which is the 25th percentile of earnings for jobs at the skill level of RQF3. This will then move to the 40th percentile, currently £34,500, and finally the 50th percentile, currently £38,700, which is the level at which the general skilled worker threshold is set. Those who already have a family visa within the 5-year partner route, or who apply before the minimum income threshold is raised, will continue to have their applications assessed against the current income requirement. Immigration Health Surcharge, IHS. The government will increase the full rate of the IHS to £1,035, ensuring that migrants coming to the UK make a fair financial contribution so that public services, including the NHS, are not taken advantage of too. These changes are part of a broader effort to reduce net migration, encourage businesses to prioritize British talent, and ensure that migrants make a fair financial contribution to public services. Part 3. Impact and implications of the new measures. Now, let's discuss the impact and implications of these new immigration measures. 1. Impact on care workers. The new rules preventing overseas care workers from bringing dependents to the UK are likely to reduce the number of care worker applicants. This could potentially cause harm to the care sector, which has relied heavily on overseas workers, especially during the recent pandemic. 2. Impact on businesses. The significant increase in the minimum earnings threshold for skilled worker visas will have serious impacts on companies reliant on overseas labor. Many of these companies may find themselves unable to meet the increased salary thresholds, and will have very little time to find an alternative. The increase in the salary threshold will primarily affect middle-skilled jobs, such as butchers and chefs, where workers tend to earn salaries around the previous threshold. Small businesses and businesses outside of London and the South East, which tend to pay slightly less, would be more affected by the new threshold. 3. Impact on families. The increase in the minimum income requirement for family visas may constitute a permanent impediment to many couples. Female sponsors and sponsors from certain ethnic groups are expected to be disproportionately affected by these changes. Those who are unable to meet the increased income requirement may face separation from their families. 4. Impact on public services. The increase in the Immigration Health Surcharge, IHS, is intended to ensure that migrants make a fair financial contribution to public services, including the NHS. 5. Overall impact. The government expects these measures to reduce net migration by around 300,000. This is part of a broader effort to curb abuse of the immigration system, prioritize British talent, and ensure that migrants make a fair financial contribution to public services. However, it's important to note that these changes have raised a number of questions and concerns, particularly among internationally educated staff, and those working on international recruitment. The full details of these changes and their implications will become clearer once the immigration rules are amended. Part 4. Conclusion and future updates. In conclusion, the new immigration measures announced by the UK government are expected to have significant impacts on various sectors, including care workers, businesses, families, and public services. The government's primary aim is to reduce net migration and curb abuse of the immigration system, with an expected reduction of around 300,000 in net migration. However, these changes have raised concerns among various stakeholders, particularly those in the care sector, and businesses that rely heavily on overseas labor. The full implications of these changes will become clearer once the immigration rules are amended. Looking ahead, the government plans to introduce further changes to the immigration rules in 2024. These include changes to the shortage occupation list, increases in the spouse/partner visa minimum income, and further increases in the Immigration Health Surcharge, IHS. It's important for businesses, families, and individuals affected by these changes to stay informed and prepare for the upcoming changes. This could involve bringing forward the recruitment of overseas workers, considering alternative visa routes, and factoring in the upcoming changes to the IHS. While the government's intention is to ensure that migrants make a fair financial contribution to public services and prioritize British talent, it's crucial to consider the potential impacts on the sectors that rely heavily on overseas workers. The government's approach to immigration is likely to continue evolving, and it's important to stay updated on these changes. We will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. So make sure you subscribe so that you are the first to get this information as they drop. Not so fast though. Did you like the video? Do you have friends and family that need to know about these details to make their move to the UK as a success? Then make sure you share, and share. Many of you only watch my videos, but haven't subscribed. Why not? Please subscribe today, and turn on the notification button so that you be the first to be notified when I drop more of this content. Otherwise, have a good end to the year. Shalom.